as a Vayne player, why do they have to do my boy so dirty? But this is like the cognitive dissonance in my head. Is like, if I think about the characters theoretically, I'm like, Nier seems stronger than Vayne to me, right? She's got better buttons. She's got really good mid-screen, right? She does have like quite a lot of like death in general is like there's just quite a lot of threat, and you know there's some guessing situations that can be very high reward for her. Like if she throws ominous turn at you, she can DP or do the slashies, right? So I'm like, what? But then and Vayne doesn't really do anything, right? So, but then when I fight them, I never get this feeling that I'm having. Like this Nier just beat me, by the way. So great job to them. Like this feeling I don't get against Vayne. This feeling of like, they're playing so well, and I'm just beating them anyway. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just because... I actually don't know. I don't know. Right? Bottom 1 or 2 sounds kind of rough. The good news is that bottom 1 or 2 in this game is still... This game is very balanced. Right? Bottom 1 or 2 is really not that bad. But someone has to be the worst character in the game. But like, even if Nier is the worst character, or if Vayne is the worst character, whoever it is, right? They are still like very capable characters that can kick your ass. It's not in some fighting games, bottom 1 or 2 is like literally unplayable. Like they just don't work. That's not how it is, right? Like Grand Blue is a very balanced game. So like again, bottom 1, like Vayne is still he's like a full character with a complete kit. It's just that, you know, like his fundamental system mechanic is very easy to exploit, right? Vayne is only capable of beating a type of player, but not really beat any character. Well, I mean, that's a weird sentence to say, because that's probably true about technical... I don't know. Vayne, if anything, more than any other character in the game, invalidates certain characters, but it's only a handful, right? I don't think that's right. I think you lost the mark a little bit there. But yeah, like bottom 1 or like, you know, Nier, like for example, Nier can still fucking kill me, right? Nice sounds like a really healthy meta. I think so. I think this game is very well balanced, right? Someone has to be the worst character. And again, gun to my... I think there's some bias that I have, right? Last stream rated had 2 Vayne's top 3. Yeah. Someone has to be the worst character. And again, I think if I think my own bias is to think Nier is weak. I can admit that, right? So I think if I think Vayne, gun to my head, probably is the worst character in the game, right? But when I fight the two of them, I don't get this feeling that I get when I fight Nier as when I get Vayne, where it's just like, it almost feels like it's in my hands how good Nier is. If I just like, you know what I mean? Like if I just like brave counter Nier, I can just choose, I can pick when I want to make her bottom 1. It's up to me, which I guess I don't get that. Like Vayne is like more stable, I guess. Like Nier is, I guess that's what it is, right? Nier is really, really high highs and like the lowest lows. Like there is no low lower than Deathless Nier, right? But Vayne is mostly, he's just kind of mid the whole time, right? Like, yeah, sometimes he'll 2H you when you die, but like getting 2H by Vayne is really a choice. Like it's at a certain point, like getting 2H by Vayne, you hold yourself. Like he has no reason, he has nothing that forces you to jump in his kit, right? So like Vayne is, I guess, more stable, which is a crazy thing to say. Vayne's control over his own win condition is more stable, yeah. Whereas it feels like it's in my hands if Nier gets to have her win condition or not. When I say it like that, it sure does sound like she's worse. But I don't know. I'm gonna continue saying the gun to my head. Let's just call it Vayne for now. But peace and peace alone shall do what now, Adil? I don't know, man. Both of them are not great. And really, like, they're the only... Like, I almost wonder if they... But I don't... They're the only 2 characters that I can... Vayne has better access to a game plan. I mean, they're the only 2 characters that I even feel this way about. But they also don't feel like... So, who else is, like, low tier, right? Let's say, for the sake of argument, that Anila is, like, low tier right with them, right? Because I don't think that... I think there's only 4 tiers in the game, as currently stands. They don't feel like... I mean, they feel a tier apart from Anila, but Anila's not low tier. But say that Anila is low tier, as some people say. They don't feel like a tier apart from, you know... Vikala? Yeah, sure. Yeah, Vikala's a good example. They don't... Like, Vikala doesn't feel as... Lowain? I would say so, but Lowain and UL are 2 characters I don't know, right? My instinct tells me Lowain isn't great, but I also don't understand him well enough to really put my foot down and be like, yes, he's low tier. But yeah, Vikala. Vikala is still probably low tier, but she's notably better than like she's not Vayne or Nier to me, right? But they don't feel like a tier. Lowain is sleeper high tier. Honestly, Lowain and UL, you could put them in low tier, mid tier, or high tier. You couldn't put them in top tier. I think you're smoking, right? But like, if you wanted to tell me that Lowain was a low tier character or a mid tier character or a high tier character, I wouldn't have an argument for you. That's why if no one gets the channel points, my pick, like I personally want to play UL and Lowain next, because I have no idea how strong I think those characters are, and they're the only 2 characters like this in the video game for me. I don't know. So if someone told me Lowain was low tier, mid tier, or high tier, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. And same thing with UL. If you were like, UL is low tier, UL is mid tier, UL is high tier, I'd be like, sure. I don't have a good reason to disagree with you on any of those. My gut tells me they're both low tier, but my gut is not something I'm gonna, you know, stand on business for, right? But yeah, like, so how many characters do you have in Master? I think this Anila will be number 8, I think, when we get her there, hopefully. Maybe number 9? I forgot. But yeah, the last point I want to make here, because we're about done with the stream. 5? No, I think it's 7 currently, and I think Anila will be 8, right? Ladiva, Sores, Vasaraga, Eustace, Narmaya, Sandalphon, Abel. Yeah. So, Anila will be 8, I think. Yeah, Ladiva, Sores, Vasaraga, Eustace, Narmaya, Sandalphon, Abel. That's right. But yeah, so, say, for the sake of argument, that Vikala is the 3rd worst character in the game, right? I don't feel the way I do about, like, Vikala does not make me feel the way that Vayne and Nier do, but also they don't feel a tier worse than her, right? So I don't think, like, there's any point in, like, making another tier below and putting, like, only Vayne and Nier in there, or only even Vayne, Vikala, and Nier in there, right? I don't think there's a huge difference between them and like, you know, in my head, what I believe, like, Lowain and UL to be, for example.